Hi, I'm Shaul. A few days ago, I published a little survey where I asked you to look at three photos taken by different pieces of gear of a scene. Those three portrayals of this scene look quite similar to each other. I asked you to judge the distance between the pot in the front and the swing at mid-distance. The gear I used to photograph those three portrayals was as follows. Image A was taken with a 12 megapixel camera, the Nikon D700, and the Sigma 24 to 35 millimeter zoom, which is a lens containing about 60% ED glass, and from my experience, its portrayal is rather flat. The second image B, was shot with the same camera, the D700, and the Nikon 35 millimeter f1.4G, a lens that does not contain any ED glass, and in my experience is rather poppy. Image C, the third portrayal of this scene, was shot with the Nikon Z6II, which is a higher resolution camera at 24 megapixels, and with the same Sigma 24 to 35 millimeters lens. My purpose was to learn whether in a blind test there would be a difference between lenses or between cameras in judging a certain distance, which would represent in such a three-dimensional scene the depth rendition of the gear. All three images were shot at 35 millimeters at f5.6. The small aperture was used to preclude any hints for distances obtained from sharpness fall-off. Now, first I will discuss the results of this survey, and then I'll get to what I can see in those three portrayals from my personal perspective. Now, the average distances between the pot and the swing in this survey were 4.6 meters for image A, 4.5 meters for image C, and 4.4 meters for image B. Those differences were really small, less than 5%. My conclusion is that neither the camera nor the lens affect the subjective portrayal of distance in such a scene. Now we have to remember that this scene contains man-made and some organic objects. The geometry of man-made objects is rather simple. There would not be a lot of difference in the rendering with different gear. However, with natural or organic objects, things might be different. Now, another interesting finding in this poll, I asked you to specify the portrayal you preferred out of the three. Now, among those who saw some distance difference between those portrayals, 71% preferred the images with the largest distance, according to their own judgment. And only 29% preferred a different portrayal. That shows that dimensionality is a highly desired trait of an image, regardless of which image you judged as the most dimensional of the three. Now, the distribution of preferred images was as follows. 36% of the participants preferred image A, 25% preferred image C, only 14% preferred image B, and another 25% did not see any significant differences between the three images. They did not have a preference for any of them. Right. Now as to what I intended to show with those three portrayals, which obviously failed. I hope that by looking forth and back between the pot and the swing, trying to judge the distance, you would have a closer look on that pile of dry pine needles on the patio. That pile shows some differences between one image and the other. Where in images A and C, it looks quite similar, except some color differences that are derived from the different color responses of the two cameras. However, if you compare the look of that pile of needles between image A and B, you can clearly see, at least I can clearly see, that in image B, the pile looks taller, it looks more voluminous due to some more nuance in the color or in the brightness of the different parts of that pile. Now, to me, that made the difference in image B, the distance between the pot and the swing, quite larger than what I could judge from the other images. That difference is true only for organic objects. If you look at the plant inside the pot, you will also see that in image B, the definition or separation between individual leaves looks a bit more pronounced than in the other two images, which look quite the same. So the difference between images A and C and image B is the lens I use. The lens, my hypothesis is that the content of ED or low dispersion glass in the lens does affect the portrayal of shape, of volume, and by extension the portrayal of distances. That phenomena would be, of course, more obvious with human faces and figures, because we are more sensitized to look at those objects or subjects in a critical manner. So we can easily see whether somebody's face looks true to life or like a cardboard cutout. But with other natural objects, the distinction may be a little bit more difficult. Anyway, what is interesting to me in this comparison is that despite the gear used in image B is more primitive. It's a camera with a lower resolution and a lens with a lower resolving power that suffers some light dispersion and other artifacts. The nuance in the portrayal of organic objects is higher than the more modern, more precise gear used in image A and especially in image C. Now, I did not have a very high resolving camera. So I cannot tell you whether a really small pixel pitch would affect the rendition of dimensional subjects. But I suspect that this phenomena is affected more by the optics than by the sensor or the medium that is used to record it. Interestingly, image A, which got the highest preference among the participants was shot with an old camera with all the technology and quite a strong anti-aliasing filter. Apparently it was good enough. To me it also looks just as detailed and just as nice as image C, which was shot with a camera with double the resolution. So maybe it can teach us something about this crazy race for higher and higher resolution. For most applications, you don't really need it. Even if I try to make a large print, from my experience, those 12 megapixels are quite enough. They even allow a little bit of cropping if needed. The advantages of a low resolution camera are smaller file sizes that are quite manageable. You do not need a very fast computer to edit them. You do not need a lot of storage room to back up or keep your photographs. There might be also an advantage in a little bit more dynamic range. Of course, the D700 does not have a high dynamic range compared to those new modern cameras. It's still a 16-year-old technology. But potentially the larger pixels can store more light photons before they get saturated. So dynamic range could be about a stop higher compared to let's say a 40 megapixel camera with the same dimensions of the sensor. Thank you for watching. See you again soon.